Hi guys, welcome back to Nick and Mike podcast. The good news is now we officially had a name. We are called the Medical Podcast. And before we start, we have a little correction on something that we mistakenly spoke about before.
Specifically the affumé. The affumé, I made the mistake of saying that it's just a tax number. Yeah, so it's kind of, I believe, like a social security.
Yeah, so it's not just a tax number.
Yes.
And since we're talking about that affimé thing, I'm gonna tell you this: when you come here, you will need to have one of these, and it's crucial to have a bank account here as an international student because it's another step in order for you to get the resident permit. I remember when I was here, I think it took us 3 months. Yeah, 4 months.
Yeah, it actually took you much longer than it did me. I got it in 2 weeks.
You also need an insurance for that, and that's gonna take, I think, 150 euros per year. Just keep that.
Yeah, you can have the normal insurance, or if you're from the EU, you can have the EU medical card, and that covers most of the costs.
So let's start the topic today with transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something funny that happened to me. So in the second year, I bought a bicycle. Of course you're gonna laugh. Of course you're gonna laugh. In the second year, I bought a bicycle, and I was really happy about it because my house, if I walk to school, it's gonna take me about 15 minutes. And if I have a bike, it would take me like 2 minutes. And with the bike, you can go literally everywhere in the center of Thessaloniki. It's really, really convenient. I would highly recommend you to buy a bike if you have the guts to bring it around. Because the funny part is, 6 months after, I lost the bike. My bike was stolen in the back of the school canteen. It was not a happy experience, I'm telling you. Yeah, I was parking it behind, like it was around 8:30 in the evening. It was kind of dodgy, it was not very bright anymore. And after finishing eating, I came back, my bike was gone.
I honestly thought you were joking when you said it in the chat.
I wasn't joking. My bike was actually gone. So I would say to you this is that wherever you live, like wherever your accommodation is gonna be, you should have a bike. I think it's really, really convenient, but also keep in mind that you might lose it. You can also take the bus all around. The ticket for the bus is pretty cheap. For student, it's gonna be 45 cents.
Keep in mind, it's 45 cents on the non-express buses. There are some buses that are express buses that go, I think, just mainly to the airport.
Yeah, I think just to the airport.
Just to the airport and back. On those, it's double the price, so it's 90 cents per student, and I think the full ticket is 180.
So the bus, I think, is affordable. However, I don't think it's very reliable. What I mean is, I think they run by their own time. Like there's an app called Move It, right?
Move It and OAST, which is
like the Greek version.
Yeah, and it's the app that the bus company made.
Mm. But the time there is not very reliable, I would say. Like the only thing you could rely on the bus is either you are used to it, or you have to, in some popular bus stop, there is a digital board saying how many minutes it's gonna come. Yeah, that's more reliable. Other than that, you just have to know. The taxi here, I would say that it's pretty cheap compared to European standard.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. But just keep in mind, after 12 midnight, it's double. The price is double.
You mean for taxi?
For taxi, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I never experienced
You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I've experienced it coming back from the airport, and it's usually coming from the airport to the city center is around 20 euros.
25.
20, 25,
yeah.
around there. Yeah. If it's past 12, it's around 35 to 40.
Mm.
So just keep that in mind.
There's a thing recently that we both discovered is the scooter. Vroom, vroom.
Scooters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of these scooters by a company Hop. And
HOP.
it's, yeah.
I think it's €1 to open. And
It always takes 3 away from me to
€3?
open it, and then it gives it back.
No,
Yeah.
that's called deposit.
Yeah, I know it's a deposit, but
They will
yeah,
take 3.
initially it's €1 to turn
open.
on the scooter,
And 0.2.
and then 20 cents per minute.
Yeah,
So
20
keep
cents
in
per
mind, it is a bit expensive.
Yeah, but there's a discount code. Always. I always have 50 cents off.
You need to tell me about
Yeah, I need to tell you about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also electrical bike
Mhm.
from.
Yes, Free Now, in case you don't know, is another Greek app, transportation app.
Yeah.
You can order taxis and now bicycles.
Yeah,
as
and
you said.
bicycle.
But they're not very reliable. The app isn't.
Really.
The app has been bugging out for weeks now.
Mhm. I think you can also buy a car if you have the ability to. Yeah, but remember, it's gonna be extremely difficult to find a place to park around. I mean, I'm not sure if you go to school and you go by car, I think they might let you in to park inside the school. And to park inside the school, I think it's easier, right? It should
Yeah.
be. But like, for example, you go out with your friend and you want to park the car in some kind of popular, it's gonna be much, much more difficult. So just keep that in mind. In order for you to minimize your transportation time, before you come here, you should do some research in terms of accommodation. What I mean by that is, my place, my accommodation, it is towards the center of Thessaloniki. And in the beginning, I thought that's great. It means I'm also near the school, also near the center. His accommodation is in the center, which is a bit further to the school, but he's in the center. Mine is like in the middle. I thought it was great, but now I actually don't like it so much anymore. The reason is now I lost my bike. I have to walk again, and I would rather have an accommodation that is to the other side of the school, to the side of the gym, to the side of the canteen, because for you to come here, there's an ultimate way for you to save money on food, which is to go to Leski, to go to the canteen here. It's going to cost you about 60, 70 euro per month, and you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the canteen for the whole month. Imagine 70, let's say 70 euros, 3 meals per day for 30 days. So if you just go there and have the food there, I think it's really convenient. And the best thing about it is you don't have to think about what am I going to eat. Right?
Yeah, the food there is actually very good. It always takes into account your proteins, your carbs, your fiber. They give you everything. They give you a good mix.
Oh, another reason is they will give you also vegan option.
Yes, they give you vegan and vegetarian options. So we know a lot of you from the West are more inclined with that.
I feel like that is like a very civilized thing. Like in Vietnam, we wouldn't have that. In my country, we wouldn't have that. Here, like when you go into the Leski, there will be 3 lines. The 2 lines on the right will be, let's say, meat and stuff, and the line on the left will always be vegetarian or vegan option. So I would say that it's pretty vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly as well. So you really don't have to worry that you might not have something to eat. You will always have something to eat, unless you are late. Because usually after, let's say for lunch, after 3:30, they're not gonna have as much food as before.
Yeah, the quantities tend to decrease quite
Yeah, and in
quite
the
fast.
evening, from I think from 8:30, there will be less food. I mean, like option. Let's just say. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, like totally go to Leski. Okay, like first of all, save time, money, and you don't have to think. I mean, like of course you can have 1 or 2 meals, like out or cook yourself sometime when you want. But for me, it's a game changer. In the first year, I was at home. I was cooking a lot because I had time. But now that I'm third year, I literally don't have the time anymore, even though I really want to. And I really hoped, I really wish that I knew I could have gone to Leski all the time before, you know.
Yeah, one thing I have to comment on about Leski, and you guys who go to the gym a lot and are very fit will love Leski. It is extremely healthy, and you can get your protein in. And especially me, because I do a lot of weights. I'm never worried about what I eat there. Never.
What do they actually have in one meal?
So
Let's say,
one
what did
meal-
you have the last time when you went to Leski? What did you have?
Yeah, so I had beans, but it's these bigger beans that they call them gigantes in Greek, which is like bigger beans. It's kind of gigantic beans. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good. Yeah, feta on the side. You can have some feta. The salad, and that day they had scrambled eggs, like this very small plate of scrambled eggs with some mushrooms.
Any dessert?
And yeah, they had some dessert. It was like a small red thing, kind of chocolatey orange flavor. The cakes are always the best there.
Yeah,
the desserts are always the best.
The dessert.
They are the best desserts I've had in Greece.
The dessert
Period.
in Leski is the best.
It is the best. You will not get any better.
Yeah.
This isn't clickbait or anything. This is just true.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. How about the meat? If they have meat, then what would you have?
The meat, I guess it depends. They had some pork, but I would have preferred it if it was a bit more cooked, because it felt... No, it was good, but you know, usually pork has quite a bit of fat. Sometimes they didn't get rid of that. But the chicken is always really good. I quite enjoy the chicken. It's grilled chicken, so it's not... Yeah, they have a thing here in Greece where they eat a lot of rotisserie chicken. You can go to the stores and you can get like half a chicken, and it's baked, grilled, and it's perfect.
How about your favorite?
My favorite meal?
Fish.
Yeah, I really like the fish. I really like the cod fish, bacalhaos, as they call it. But they put scortaglia, which is this garlic paste thing on the side. That isn't good.
They would have lamb sometimes.
Okay, the lamb is the best. The lamb is the best.
That's very occasionally.
It's very rare. I think it's like every Sunday.
Really?
Or every other Sunday.
Yeah, every two
It's
Sundays.
very rare.
Yeah. So if they have lamb, go. Yeah. If you're not gonna go to Leski, how much do you think you would like pay for food per month?
There are some places that sell like a big good meal for around 350 to 4 euros. There are usually these home cooked meals, chicken, rice, whatever. So this is also very good for those who are trying to put on some lean muscle very cheaply. Yeah, but the prices did go up after all the stuff again.
Really?
They used to be 3 euros per meal, and even a bit cheaper, I think, sometimes for vegetarian options.
Now I think it's at least 350, right?
It's at least 350, sometimes it's even 4 or 5, it depends. The beef is usually around 5.
And if you go out to like fancy restaurants?
7, 8, and could go to 15, I mean, sometimes. But it's a bit, I guess it depends on where you go. But if you go to taverns and stuff, yeah, it's around 7 to 12, 13.
Yeah, I think that's much more expensive than either Leski or you cook yourself. In the first year I was cooking, it's definitely cheaper to compared to eating out, I would say. I would pay around 40, 50 euros for grocery. And yeah, so it means for a month, if you cook yourself, it's going to take you about at least 200, I would say. At least 200. And again, if you go to Leski, it's 70 euros.
Yeah, so go to Leski.
Yeah, go to Leski.